bit quicker, actually.
Teaching global citizenship means making issues from across the world matter to students in the UK.
In Africa, that's how some people have to get water for their families. They must be pretty strong.
Water is an essential resource, yet over 1 billion people don't have access to safe water. At Kingsbury High School in northwest London, global citizenship is taught through geography at Key Stage 3. Geography teacher Katrina Winter is going to explore the issue of water with her Year 9 class.
Okay.
She wants her pupils to understand what life's like for people who don't have running water.
What we're going to do is we're going to go outside, OK? And there are going to be a number of buckets. Right, pick up a bucket and start walking around the playground.
Straight line, guys.
Yep. Straight line, please. Wait. Off you go.
Can man be hard?
No.
I'm not feeling up to it today.
No. Tough.
20 minutes of this, God.
15 minutes. You got back pain, have you? 15 minutes. Timmy, 15 minutes. 10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes. What about your shoulder? You got a shoulder injury. Is that from carrying the bucket? 5 more minutes now.
How heavy is it?
Very, very, very heavy. Guys, you've got about 3 more minutes.
I want to make a hole.
Okay, when you get to here, I want you to stop. Okay. Paul, how are you feeling? Terrible. Terrible. How are you feeling? Exhausted. Exhausted. How are you feeling? Cold. Cold? How are you feeling? Knackered. Knackered. What about you?
My joints hurt.
Your joints hurt, okay?
I have a back pain.
You've got a back pain, okay?
Exhausted.
Exhausted. Do you have only carried less than 10 litres of water?
Less than 10.
Less than 10 litres of water. What do you think the point of that was? What was the point? Hands up. The point of carrying the water around the playground for 20 minutes. Dylan.
To make us realise that it's very tiring and people all over the world have to do it every day to survive.
Rachel.
I think it just makes us realise how long they actually have to walk, because if you just hit the statistics, like they walk 3 miles a day, it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you've actually experienced only 20 minutes of walking, it actually shows you how long it is.
I think that by doing that activity, the pupils actually were really, really getting into the mind of somebody who might have to carry water, and so by doing that, they really did develop an empathy.
Katrina hopes that developing empathy will help the class relate to a film about a family in Kenya and how water shapes their daily life.
The Dishu family live in a small village in Kenya, East Africa. Mum, Dad and their 7 children share their home with a variety of farmyard animals. They live just 20 miles from the capital, Nairobi, but like most people living in the countryside, the family don't have running water. Their day begins at sunrise and getting the younger children ready for school.
No, mire.
Each child has to carry their own water to school for washing and drinking. After the younger ones have left, their father sets off on his daily commute to Nairobi, where he works as a mechanic. Margaret and Ruth are the oldest girls, and they stay at home to help their mother.
Most days, I'm busy doing stuff around the house. I have to get the water, wash clothes, wash dishes, do the cooking.
Most jobs around the house need water, but there aren't any taps in the Dishu house.
We get our water from the local river. We have to go down there 3 times a day, and we carry a 20-litre container each. We use water for pretty much everything: drinking, washing ourselves, washing clothes and dishes, feeding the animals, watering the plants.
The river is a 20-minute walk away, and the whole journey takes an hour. Today, Margaret and Ruth are getting help from their cousin, but usually fetching water is the work of women and girls.
It's our culture for women and girls to get the water. Boys do it when they're young, but once they're teenagers, they won't go to the river anymore because they think it's women's work. Going to the river can be dangerous. Sometimes there are hippos down there. If you see a hippo when you get to the river, you have to forget the water and run for your life.
Ruth is used to the risks involved in getting water.
I've been fetching water since I was 11. At the beginning, it was difficult. I used to get pains in my legs, but now I'm used to it. It's just a part of life.
It feels like a sack of rocks. It's really heavy. It puts a strain on your neck and your head, and you feel the water can digging into your back.
While Margaret and Ruth bring back the first water of the day, their younger brother and sisters arrive at school in time for morning assembly.
Good morning, school. Good morning, teacher. How are you? Thank you.
Winner, 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 winner. Jesus, you are a winner, winner. Battle, battle, you won forever, winner.
Bogwa is 11 and the youngest boy in the Dishu family. His first class is maths, and to make things more complicated, all the lessons in Kenya are taught in English.
There is 3 higher. We come here. We have 2 takeaway. Can it? No. So?
Every pupil here has to bring water to school and can get punished if they don't. Otherwise, there isn't enough to go around.
This is one of the school's water tanks. In the rainy season, water comes off the roof, through the pipe and into the tank, and then we drink it.
We have looked at present simple tense. And present...
Lillian is 14 and in her last year of primary school.
Action. What action happened before the other? Action. Which action?
Primary school here is free, but if she wants to go to secondary school, the family will have to pay.
I finished primary school last year and passed all my exams, so I'm really hoping to be able to go to secondary school. I can't go at the moment because we don't have enough money. Secondary school's expensive. It costs around £200 a year.
£200 is about half the family's yearly income.
No. I'm not happy about not being able to go to school, but if things get better financially, I can go then and I'll be really happy.
What I'd really like to do is have my own hair salon. I went to college and trained as a hairdresser, and I'd like to start my own business.
Margaret wants to talk to hairdressers in her local town about how to get started. If she's to set up her own hair salon, a good water supply will be crucial.
Starting a business is very hard. It costs money, and I don't have very much. So what I did was buy stock bit by bit, and then eventually I got premises. But this town has a big water problem. There's a public tap in the town where we can get water, but most of the time it's dry. So we have to buy water from the men who go around selling it in the streets. This salon does good business, but if you don't have water, you lose your customers because all the work we do here revolves around water. We have to make sure we've always got water stored away. Usually we store water in the tank up there, as you can see, but we make sure we have plenty of containers in reserve on the ground.
To start my own salon, I need money to pay for water and to buy hair products, chemicals, towels, and to rent premises. I just don't have the finances.
I'd like to be a pilot, but to do that, I need to get a good education. I think flying a plane would be great. I know it's not easy. The training is expensive, but if I could fly, I'd be so, so happy. I've never been in a plane, but I see them passing overhead. I imagine myself up in the sky and everything on the ground would look so tiny because I'd be so high up.
As the afternoon begins to cool down, it's time for another trip to the river. In the UK, the average person uses 155 litres of water each day. If the Dishu family used this much, Margaret and Ruth would have to go to the river 35 times a day. Drought can be a problem in some parts of Kenya, but here the river never runs dry. The main problem the family face is that the water isn't clean.
Irrigation scheme
This is an irrigation pipe, taking water from the river to nearby farms growing coffee, flowers and cash crops. All these crops and pineapples are grown for export. They're sold to the UK and Europe.
Yahweh, Yahweh, Mama.